Hello. In this video, we're going to see how to create the realistic ocean waves. So here I will use this cube to create the ocean. So if you want to create a cube, you can press Shift A and go to the mesh and you can select the cube. So now in order to create this ocean, we need to select the cube, and in the modifier, you can go to this option like modifier. So after this, we can select the modifier called ocean. So make sure you need to select the cube and click on this ocean. So now see defaultly it has been converted into like ocean kind of shape here. Still, we need to make some settings so that we will get the actual look of this ocean here. So if you go to the right side, you can see some of the settings here. So now you can see there is an option like repeat X and Y. So here you can increase and decrease the size of this like ocean. So it depends on your system configuration. So it will take the load. So for time being, I will just keep it like an default here. And later now, if you want to increase the details of this ocean, we can use this option like resolution view. So here, suppose if I give the value to like 25 or something. So now see it has been increased the details of this ocean here. So it depends on your system. You can give the higher value if you want to create a more detailed kind of shape here. So for time being, let it be like an 25. And here there is an option like render. So laterally we will use this thing, means like actually what the thing is, when we give the final output, we have to increase the value in this render. So this resolution view is only up to this viewport. So what kind of shape you are getting. So laterally while rendering, if you want to increase, you can increase the like number of this render here. And also next, if you want to increase the wave of this thing, so if you go here, you can see there is an option like wave. So like if you want to increase, you can increase the scale. So like, let's say just I will use this thing. Now see it has been increased the size of these waves here. So it depends on your scene, what kind of shape you want to create and how much height you want to create this thing. And laterally, what the thing is, see if you want to create more details, here you can see there is an option like smallest wave. So make sure you need to give the value to very less, like if you give to 0, then it will increase the details of this thing here. That means, see, if I going to increase this value, so it is going to decrease the details of this ocean here. If you want to create this plain kind of shape, then we need to increase this smallest wave. So for timing, I will give the value to like 0 so that it will increase the details here. But still there is no animation. If you play this, there is nothing. So what the thing is, if you want to create this animation, you can see there is an option like time. So what the thing is, see if you go on change this time, so it is going to change the shape of this ocean here. But still, if you play, nothing will happen. What the thing is, we need to give the keyframe for this thing. So there is a small expression in which we can create the animation for this thing. So simple, like just you have to select this time and type hash like time frame by, it's up to you at what time you want to divide. Let's say I will give the value to like 50 or something. So now see it has been created some default animation here. So now if you click on this play, so it is going to play this animation here. And now if you see, for suppose if I increase this thing, like if I increase this X and Y, see now it is going to increase the size of these waves. And also it will get slow. It depends on your system. So now see if I try to play this, first of all, let us save this thing. And now if you try to play this thing, so it will play very slow. It depends on your system performance. So what the thing is, just I will decrease this value. So just I will give the value to like 1 by 1. So that's fine. And also if you want to create the random shape for this thing, here you can see there is an option like random seed. So you can change. So according to your requirement, you can select this kind of different shapes here. So for timing, I think it's okay. So just we'll play and see. So just if you click on this play. Yeah. So I think it's okay. So now what the thing is, we need to create the plane. So first of all, what my concept is like, if I place a boat, it has to animate according to the waves of this ocean here. So for that, first we need to create a plane, and that plane has to be attached to this ocean here. So I will show that how to do that. So first I will create a plane here. So like Shift A, just I will go to the mesh and click on this plane here. So select this plane and you can increase the size of this plane here. And just I will move it in the up direction for time being. And now what the thing is, this plane need to be attached to this ocean waves so that the plane shape will change according to the shape of these waves here. And also, first of all, we need to increase the number of subdivisions so that you will get the perfect animation for the boat. So in order to increase the subdivision, we need to go to the edit mode here. So if you want to go to the edit mode, you can press tab. And now we are in the vertex mode. So if you want to go to the edge mode, you can press 2 and 3 for face mode. So for timing, I will go to the vertex mode by pressing 1. And now we need to increase the number of subdivisions. So just in order to increase the subdivision, just you can right click and there is an option like subdivide. So right click again, just we can increase this thing. That's fine. And just we'll go to the like object mode by pressing tab again. So now what the thing is, we need to attach this plane to this ocean wave. So in order to do that, we can go to this modifier list and make sure you have to select this plane. And in the modifier, we can see there is an option called like shrink wrap. So what is this thing like? Suppose if you use this thing, whatever the target we are going to select, this plane will go and attach to that target and it will animate according to the movements of this ocean here. So you will see this now. So if you go to this add modifier and select this shrink wrap, and now we need to select the target to which we want to attach this thing. So like we can use this dropper and we can select this thing here. So now you can see this plane has been attached to this ocean wave. So now if you click on this plane, so see now the shape of this plane is going to change according to the shape of this ocean here. So using this thing, we can attach the boat to this plane here so that we will get the realistic animation. So now what the thing is like, before creating the boat, I need to create some vertex group so that it will be useful for us to attach this to the boat. In order to create this vertex group, we can go to the tab, like we can press the edit mode. And now we need to be in the vertex mode and make sure you need to select all the vertex by pressing A. So after going into the vertex mode and selecting everything, we need to go to this option like this, like data object properties. So we need to select this and here we need to create a group here. So like in the vertex group, we can click on this add. And if you want, you can give the name like boat or something. So just give the name like boat. And now this total vertex has to be assigned to this group here. So just I will click on this assign. So now the vertex has been assigned to this group. So now we will bring this boat into this scene here. So I will use the default like FBX file which has been downloaded from the internet, and I will put the link in the description from where I have downloaded that model. So now we have to import the FBX model. So in order to import that, we need to go to this file and just go to this import option and select this FBX. And now this is the model I'm going to use to simulate. So just I will select this ship and click on this import. So here we got this boat, but it is a little bit small. So just we need to press S and scale this boat here. For time being, I will just move it in the X direction so that you can see the plane. Okay. So now what the thing is, we need to attach this boat to this plane here so that the boat will act according to the waves here. So in order to do that, it's simple. What we have to do is we have to select this thing. And we need to go to this option like constraints. So select this constraints. And here just select this and you need to select the copy location. So basically what it will do is just we are copying the location of this plane here. So after selecting the copy location, here we need to pick the target where you want to move this boat. So select this dropper and click on this plane. So now see it has been gone through this like positions of this plane here. And still, if you play, nothing will happen because what the thing is, we need to assign the vertex group so that according to the vertex group, it will change the animation. So here we need to select the vertex group which we have created earlier. So select this board. Now see it has been exactly attached to the plane here. So if you click on this play, and now see it is acting according to the animation. So here for timing, in order to check it properly, just I will decrease the resolution. So I will select this plane and go to the modifier. Here, let's say just I will give the value to like 15 or something for time being. Laterally, while in the render, we can give the higher value. So now if you click on this play, so see now it's making an animation perfectly. So it is just moving up and down. But what the thing is, we need to create the manual animation for this thing. Means like, first of all, see, now if you select this, So still the boat is looking like it is on the air. So we need to move this boat a little bit down. So what the thing is, when we attach this to this plane, so we cannot able to move this plane actually. See, if you go to the move tool and if you try to move, so it's not moving. So what the thing is, so see if I select this boat and if I go to this like constraint, so here you can see there is an option like offset. So we need to enable this so that we can adjust the positions of this boat and also we can able to rotate this thing. So we need to enable this offset. And now we need to move this thing here. And now just we will click on play. See, now we got this animation and also we can able to move this thing. So we need to create the simple animation for this rotation, means like see it's moving only up and down. So according to the water waves, we need to make the rotation for this boat also. So that we need to create a manual thing like manually. So what I will do is just I will turn on this auto keyframe here for the boat. So auto keyframe. And also just I will enable this transform options by pressing N for name. So after that, just here you can see there is an option like rotation. So we can give the animation. So make sure you have to turn on this auto keyframe. So let's say I will right click and insert keyframe here. So now if you see, that's fine. If you want to rotate, just you can rotate in the x-axis maybe. No, sorry. So I think it's in the y-axis. So just I will rotate in the y-axis. So that's fine. Now it has been created a key. So let's say up to here, just I will rotate in this direction. So now we need to match this animation properly so that, so it will take some time to animate this thing. So now let's say just according to the wave, we need to rotate to this y-axis little bit. And now see, so we got this animation and let's say up to here, I will just make it in this way. And also what the thing is, the boat is still in the air. Manually just we will move it a little bit down so that it will look like it is in the water. So now this is okay. So now see, so just we got this animation properly. And see here we need to make it little bit straight. So like just straight. So in this way. So if you click on this play, so we got this nice animation. So you need to work on this animation keyframes according to your requirements. Say it is going a little bit in the water, but that's fine for this tutorial. But so you got the concept like how to make an animation for this thing here. So just will create normal base camera. So just press Shift A and go to this camera. And now I will go to the camera view and just I will lock this thing here. So just I will adjust this angle properly. Okay. So this angle is good. So now, so it's okay. Yeah. So next, what the thing is, we need to add the materials for this ocean, and also we can add the HDRI lighting, and also we can add the shading for this boat too. So we'll do that. So now in order to create the shader for this ocean, first we will create the HDRI lighting. So in order to create the HDRI, just we can go to this like shading tab. So go to this shading tab here. And now we are in the shading tab. So like we can add the HDRI lighting. So like what we can do is here you can select this world. And now the default you got this background. I will delete this. And now in order to browse the HDRI, just we can search for environment texture. So by pressing Shift A, you can search for environment texture. So we can add the HDRI lighting for this thing. So we can add this color to the surface. Now here we can select this open option, open, and we need to browse the model. Means like we need to browse this HDRI. So select this HDRI and click on open. So just it will load and we need to be in the lighting mode. So select this thing. So now we are in the lighting mode. So we got this nice lighting. Now we need to add the material for this ocean. So select this, and here we need to go to this object here. And now what the thing is, so here you will have a default like principal BSDF. So here we can use this transmission so that we will get the complete transparent material for this water. So see, now we got this thing. And also here we can give this value to 1.35, which is the default value for the water in the IOR. And also we'll decrease complete roughness for this. So just we'll get some sort of reflection. And we can give the color for this thing. So like base color, just we can add this. Just we can give little bit of ocean like kind of color here. It's up to you. So now we got this color over here. Okay. So the details are a little bit less. So what we can do is we can select the plane just in the modifier tab. Just I will increase the details. So just I will give the value to like 25 or something. So we got this more details for this. And now we need to give the material for this boat. So select this boat. And here we need to apply the texture. So when we download the model, he will give the texture for that. So we need to browse the texture. So first of all, we need to take an node called image texture. So select this image texture. And we need to connect to this like base color. And now we can click on this open. So we got this default base color, but we need to browse the texture. So click on this open. And we can go to the location and we can select this thing. So now we got this texture here. And now we need to increase the roughness for this thing because the boat looks very like shiny. So here you can see we can decrease the specularity and we can increase the roughness. And if you want, you can increase the metallicness a little bit so that it will look like more metal kind of shape here. That's it. Okay. So mostly we got this model. And now what the thing is, let's see, first we'll render this thing. We'll see how it is looking like. So in order to render this, first we can go to the camera view. So I will go to the camera view. And now we can render this. So in order to render, just we can go to the render. There is an option like render image. And before render, we can go to the settings actually. So if you go to this option like render properties, you can see like, okay, I think we need to go to this output. And here you can select the resolution and we can select the frame, like frames per second. If you want to make an animation, if you want to export the animation, we can give the frames per second. And here we can give the output. So that I will explain shortly. Before that, if you go to this thing, here you can see there is an option like a render engine. So what the thing is, in the Blender, we can render by using the GPU. So if you have a better graphic card, we can select this to like cycles. Okay, so see now it's going to render nice, but still here the device you can select it to like GPU. So see now it has been selected the GPU. But what the thing is, for you people, defaultly you will not get this option like GPU. Whenever you select this GPU, it will hide that option. Still it will render in the CPU. So now if you want to render with the GPU, first we need to make a settings here. So what we need to do is we need to go to the edit preference. And here in the system, we need to select this option like keep. If you're using the Radeon graphic card, you can select this thing. And if you're using the NVIDIA, you can select this CUDA. So for timing, I'm using this Radeon like 6750 XT. So like I have selected this thing. And after this thing, you can able to render with this GPU here. So I have selected this GPU. And now if you want to decrease the noise, just we can enable this denoise here in the render. And in viewport also, if you want to remove this, you can enable this thing. And also here we can use this minimum samples and maximum samples. For time being, let it be like a default. And also we can decrease the noise threshold up to 0.01. So we'll see this, how we will get this render. So just if you want to render one frame, we can go to this render and there is an option like render image. So select this. So see, now we are getting nice render, but see in the render, we are not getting the details because as I said, if you select this thing and if you go to this modifier here, as I said, like while making an final output, we need to increase actual value in this here. So I will decrease the render viewport resolution to 7 or something. and I will increase this to like 30 or something. Let us see. Now we will render this. So just we'll go to the render image. So see, now we got this nice render, and also see here it is making a sample. So for me, it is taking like 43 seconds, like for each frame here. It depends on your situation. Means like if you render it in 4K or something, just it will take time. It depends on your graphic card here. So for time being, I will just cancel this render and I will close this thing. And now what the thing is, we need some lighting. Suppose in case if you want to change the directions of this lighting, because defaultly, if you see, so I will go out of this camera. And now you can see defaultly the lighting is coming from this corner here. So what the thing is, if you want to change the directions of this light here, so we can click on this, see in the corner, we can left click and drag. So I will left click and drag, so it will create another thing. And here, what the thing is, just I will go to this like image editor. Sorry, I think we need to go to this shader editor. And just if you zoom in, I will select this thing. So and here I will go to the world. So now we got this thing. And now if you select this thing, we can change the rotations of this sky here. So if you select this material and if you go to this node option, just we can use this thing. And here you can see there is an option like texture mapping. And now we need to like change the rotations of this thing here. So just I will change in the X direction. No, not in X, sorry. Just we can select it in Z direction. So now we can able to change the directions of this sun here. So it depends on your situation. Suppose if you want to create the sun in the back side, just you can rotate this thing here. Okay, so in this way we can use this thing. Just now I will close this. And now we can see if you go to this render image, just click on this render. So say we got this nice render. And also what the thing is, you need to play with your values, what kind of shape you want to create for this ocean. So you will get more realistic. And now what the thing is, if you want to create the form for this water, means like if you want to create some white form for this water, we can add this too. So now in order to add the form for this water, we can select this model and we need to go to this like modifier. So here you can see there is an option like form. So you need to enable this form and here you can give the name, let's say like ocean form, and make sure we need to copy this same name so that we will use this thing in the material. So now see here we are in the material mode. So now select this ocean and just we come to this material mode here. So we need to add some nodes so that we will create this form. And also just I will add the resolution in the render viewport so that I can see the perfect details. So like I can give the value to like 25 or something. So now we can see the details here. So now just we will take a node called like attribute. So select this attribute. And here what the thing is, we need to paste that name for the ocean form. And after this, we need to take a mix shader because as we want to like mix the form material into this ocean. So we need to take another node like mix shader. So in the search, just type mix shader. So select this and we need to connect here. And now what the thing is, we need to take another principal BSDF. So just I will press Shift A. So search for principal BSDF and we need to connect this to the shader. And now what the thing is, just we need to connect this fact to this fact here. Okay. So if you go closer, now we got this, see white color form. So before it was not there. So we got this form. And if you want to increase and decrease the form, white color. So we can take like math node. So just we can select this math node and connect here. And so what I will do is we can use the multiply so that we can increase and decrease this math. So see now if I increase the value, so it is going to increase the form here. See, we got this like white color form. See, so here you can use this value so that we can able to increase and decrease this form here. So it depends on your situation, what kind of form you want to create. And also there is another nice setting in the camera. So you can focus onto the object and you can like blur the ocean overall. So how we can do is, let's say I will change the positions of this camera for time being. So I will go to the camera view and just I will like press N. So in the view, just I will lock this camera and I will change the positions of this camera here. So what we can do is like, see, suppose if you want to create the blur for this water and I want to focus only this, like what we say, like boat here. So if you want to do that, like simple, we need to select the camera. So here in the camera, you can go to the settings of this camera. See here, you can go to the settings and here we need to enable this option called like depth of field. So enable this. And now we need to select the object which you want to focus and the remaining everything will be get blurred. So if you want to select the object, we can select this dropper and select this object here. So now if you want to blur the remaining area, so just you can use this thing and we can decrease. See now, see it is going to blur the water and now it is going to focus on to only the object here. So this will look more realistic for this thing. Now we got this thing. So we can decrease and we can make it more blur, but it has to be more natural. So let it be like here. So by using this depth of field, we got this nice animation. So we can go to this in the layout panel so that we can able to see properly. So if I go to this shading and now we got this thing here. So if you want to zoom in, you can zoom in. So now we'll see this, how we are getting this. Go to the render and just click on this render image. So see, now we got this nice blur effect and just we got this nice boat here. Okay. So just I will close this thing. So this is a way to render only the single image. So in case if you want to render it like an sequence, we can use this render animation option here. In the render, we can click on this render animation. But before that, we need to make some settings. So if you go to this render properties, here you can see the maximum samples, cycles, everything we need to check it. And we need to go to this settings. And here we can select the resolution, means like what kind of resolution you want to create. If you want to render it in 4K, you can render it. And also we can select the frame range. So from which frame you want to render. So still, suppose if you have done up to like 100 frames and later if you want to continue, you can give the value to like 101 so that we can render in the sequence. And after selecting this, we can select the output. You can click on this, choose the location where you want to save. And also here we can select the format on which we want to save, like JPEG, PNG, Targa or something. So if I select this JPEG, you can select the JPEG. And remaining everything is good. So now we are good to go, like we can render this thing. So if you want to render, just we can select this and render animation. So by using this thing, it will start render from first frame. So it depends on your system configuration. It will take time. For me, like for my graphic card, it has been taken like almost 3.5 hours. So that's it. Hope you find this tutorial useful. So that's it for this video. See you in the next video.